Yo, what's going on, guys? You're back with another episode of Rangers Reviews. That's what I'm going to call this series now. Every time I review the Rangers, it's going to be Rangers Reviews all on its own playlist. Now, let's sit back and enjoy. So, what we're going to go over today, we're going to go over the David Desharnais signing and the Jesper signing. Quite easy, quite simple. Hell, who knows? Maybe Mika Zibanejad will get signed as I'm doing this, and we could turn into a Mika Zibanejad review as well. But we should, actually, speaking of which, Emerson Edom did just sign with the Arizona Coyotes, so I guess that's kind of cool. Another ex-Ranger joining the freaking Coyotes. The Islanders signed someone named Sebastian Aho, not the one you're thinking of. Anyways, let's jump right into this. First of all and foremost, let's talk about David Desharnais. All right, I know him as a Ranger killer. He always plays good against the Rangers, at least when he was in Montreal. That's what I remember. That's how I remember him. He also scored an overtime goal for the Edmonton Oilers this year. I think it was Game 5 against the Sharks. He scored the overtime goal. I gotta look that up. I remember him scoring a playoff goal this year. It's like a little. It wasn't a tap in. I think he was set up in the slot or the circle somewhere. I remember vaguely watching the game. I remember he put the puck in the back, and that was a nice goal, nice play. But let's talk about David Desharnais, a player. All right, he is 5 years separated from a 60-point season in which he scored 16 goals and added 44 assists, which is a hell of a year for him. I'm actually going to look into that season with Montreal Canadiens. He was third in scoring on the team that year. Eric Cole had 35 goals, and Max Pacioretty had 33 goals at the age of 22 that year. I would love Pacioretty in a couple of years. We shall see. So Desharnais, he had 60 points that year, 44 assists. I'd imagine he was centering that top line. At least that's what it would seem. I couldn't imagine how else he would have that many points. Very, very interesting. All right, so he's got skill. I know that. I was watching videos of him scoring goals. Most of Desharnais' goals, it's quite surprising, especially a guy of his stature. Most of his goals come in front of the net on rebounds, and I like that about him. He's sneaky. He's small enough to where he can get in the dirty areas and put the puck at the back of the net. A guy like Chris Kreider, who's supposed to do that, is kind of hard for him because he's a big body. You can kind of see him coming in. If you're a 6'5" defenseman, it's kind of hard to see a little 5'7" Desharnais skating your way when 6'5" Kevin Hayes is standing in front of you, or whatnot. Last year, however, was a shitty year for him. And I say shitty, I actually mean shitty. He played 49 games. He had 6 goals and 14 points. The year prior to that, he played 65 games. He had 29 points. But the year before that, he had 48 and 82. The year before that, 52 and 79. So he's been on a decline in terms of points per game, which is no bueno. He only had 4 points in 13 playoff games. I mean, I think his career faceoff percentage I was looking at before is above 50% for his entire career. So I guess that's good. He's a good faceoff guy. I'd imagine he'll be on the fourth line with probably Grabner and Fost. We'll see. Maybe he'll be the 13th forward. I really don't know. The Rangers need to re-sign Zibanejad, and they need a second or first line center pronto. I just thought that would have came before a David Desharnais-esque signing, unless they really think he's going to be our second or third line center, which I highly doubt. But anyways, the contract, we can fix on this. Before, just one last point. David Desharnais in 453 career NHL games. He has 81 goals and 54 points, along with 142 penalty minutes. I know he's a pesky player, that much I know. We'll see how he fits in. You never know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he really turns out to be your second, third line center. I really hope he becomes good. But we'll play it by ear. Okay, that is David Desharnais' player statistics. Now let's take a look at the contract they gave David Desharnais. David Desharnais, 1 year, $1 million. Very simple. No signing bonus, no performance bonuses, just flat 1 year, $1 million. I can totally dabble with that contract, considering the fact that he just came with a 4-year, $14 million contract, paying him $3.5 million per year, with a little bit of signing bonuses in that. So honestly, I'll take that as is. I think that's pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, 1 year, $1 million, you really can't go wrong. It's a low risk, high reward. Worst comes to worst, he's on a $1 million contract. I'm sure someone down the line will want him with a little retained salary, yes or no. I mean, it doesn't make a damn difference, It's not a detrimental contract, so I'm sure we'll be just fine with David Desharnais if he does not work out. Again, Peary made $100,000 more than he did last year, and he was basically a bench player because he was so damn bad at some point. Anyways, moving on from David Desharnais, We got Jesper Foss, baby, inked up 3 years. We'll go over the contracts first. 3 years, $5.55 million overall, making $1.85 a year, $1,850,000 a year. I honestly think that could very well be the bargain of the offseason for the Rangers. As good as the Shattenkirk contract was, people were really thinking Foss was going to make close to $2.5 million, just solely based off of the fact that he's just so effective in what he does. He played 11 less games than he played last year. He had 9 less points. 2 years ago, I should say, rather. 2015-2016, Jesper Foss had 30 points, including 10 goals. Last year, he had 21 points and 6 goals in only 68 games. I believe he got hurt. But in the playoffs, however, for the, 12 games he played, he had 6 points or even being goals. Cuts up pretty big in the playoffs, I'll say, about a little quickie, as they call him. He'll probably be a 4th line again. You see, Jesper Foss is a good player as long as he's not in the top 9. If he's in the top 9, then he's not as an effective player as he absolutely could be. I think Foss is a good, if I'm gonna rate him, his shot 6, 7 out of 10. If you remember, he scored a beautiful goal against Ottawa in the game. The Rangers went up 2-0 quick, and then I'm pretty sure Ottawa came back and beat us, the bastards. But yeah, he got a good shot. He's fast. He's skating. One of the best skaters on the team in terms of speed, acceleration, and agility, all put into one, even balance. He doesn't hit as much as I'd like him to, but it's not really his style. He parks his ass in front of the net. He works hard in the corners. He does all the small things. I wouldn't have him out there in the last minute of a game if we're winning, but if we're losing, if we're losing, I wouldn't have him out there in the last minute of the game. But if we're winning, I'd certainly have him out there. A good defensive player. Why the heck not? Let's see, penalty minutes in his 216 games in his career. He's only amassed 44 of those. He's got 22 goals and 65 points in 216 career games. So he scores at a 4th liner's pace. He's really not gonna bomb the back of the net. And believe it or not, Jesper Foss is part of a trade that sent Bob Sanguinetti when the Rangers finally realized he was a damn bust to Carolina. We got a 6th round pick and a 2nd round pick. I'm not exactly sure what the 2nd round pick turned into, but the 6th round pick turned out to be Jesper Foss, who has already logged more games than Bobby Sanguinetti has, right? I believe so. Let me take a look at this. Yes, he's almost quadrupled him, if not quadrupled him already, because Bobby Sanguinetti's a bust. And for all you that don't know, we're just gonna look at this real quick. The player drafted directly after Bobby Sanguinetti was Claude Giroux. And the pick after Claude Giroux was Semyon Varlamov. 7 picks after that was Nick Foligno. So I thought I'd just put that out there, that the Rangers royally screwed up when they drafted Bobby Sanguinetti. However, the 2 players picked before him both didn't play a single career game in the NHL, so I guess there's that too. But I just feel like, could have done better than Bobby Sanguinetti, bastard. Well, he got a Jesper Foss, so who the hell cares? Kid's a beast. I like the contract. I like Jesper Foss. He's one of my favorite Rangers. Hopefully I get a jersey of Jesper Foss sometime soon, but I don't want to risk it. I think what played a big part in Jesper Foss' contract was Oscar Lindberg's contract, because Lindberg got 2 years, 1.7 per year. So I'm going to imagine Foss was probably like, listen, I'm better than him. I could probably get more money than him. Let's take a look at Lindberg's production. He has 134 games played, but he has 48 points. So he scores more than Jesper Foss. But in terms of liabilities, defensively and offensively, I feel like I want Foss out there before Lindberg is out there. And I love Oscar Lindberg. He was my favorite Ranger since last year. Oh, well, he was up there. He's one of my favorites. I like the way Lindberg plays. He plays physical. If Foss played a little more physical, he'd definitely be up there. The thing with Jesper Foss is he's 25 years old. So by the time this contract ends, he's going to be 28. Then he'll hit his prime. So this contract directly bridged him into his prime when he peaks. So we'll see what his next contract looks like. Maybe he really just turns it up the next 3 years, becomes a 30, 40 point guy, makes his way into the top 9, or if he really settles for a career 4th, 3rd liner like a utility player, as opposed to the scorer that he was in the Swedish Elite League. Because the year prior to coming to North America, Jesper Foss played in HV71 Jönköping. I believe that's a team that either Elias Anderson or Elias Peterson played for. Either way, he had 35 points and 18 goals in 47 games played. So he was a scorer. And through 2 years ago when he was in Hartford, no, 3 years ago when he was in Hartford, when he was like a full-time guy down there. He had 34 points and 17 goals in 48 Hartford games. And the year after that, he played 9 games in Hartford. He played 11 games in Hartford. He had 9 points. So he's a scorer in these the minor pro leagues, I'll call them. So you never know. Maybe that will translate to the NHL one day. I believe that's what the Rangers are waiting for, at least. I certainly am, because he, at one point, absolutely was a scorer, Jesper Fast. And I think he can refine that. I definitely believe that Jesper Fast could be a 40, 50-point guy. 50-point guy's pushing it. You have to have a really good season. But I believe he can hit the 40-point mark. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jesper Fast, one season throughout his career, one season Jesper Fast got between 15 and 25 goals. I feel like 20 to 25 goals. I feel like he can do that one day. Listen, he can be a scorer. You don't rely on him to be one, but he can be one in the right situation. He's still very young in terms of North American game. He only has 216 career NHL games logged compared to however long he was playing in Sweden on the bigger rink. Granted, I'm sure he's had enough time to adjust to NHL ice, but it takes a while, I guess, to translate, especially when you're on a fourth line. And I love Tanner Glass to death, do not get me wrong, but when you're on a line with Tanner Glass, you're just not going to score as much, nor with Oscar Lindberg or Dominic Moore, or who else does he play with? Matt Pumple, Marek Rivik. Not for nothing, Jesper Fast has not really played with the highest of scorers. Although he played with Victor Solberg, he was 2 years. That was a rough year for the fourth line. The fourth line was good, but wasn't like scoring. Yeah, the Rangers haven't really been a scoring team. So good. I'm sure he'll find himself eventually. We shall see, as I like to say. We shall see if Jesper Fast one day does become a scorer like we thought he would be. I like to see Jesper Fast more as a two-way forward or rounder. Anyways, who cares about that? We're done with that. Rangers signed David Desharnais to 1 year, $1 million, and Jesper Fast 3 years, 5.55, earning him $1.85 million per year. That is his cap hit. I like it a lot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we shall be talking. Take a break. And if you just said you do not need hearing aids, promise you don't, as long as you understand what I just said. I will see you all in the next one.